This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Monday. Jason Walker Show, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations. Thanks for tuning in. The day, what am I calling this? The first day of a new strange world. All right, obviously, you know what we're going to talk about today. COVID-19 and all that fun stuff. You can watch live on Facebook, facebook.com/The Jason Walker Show. YouTube, live. You can also tweet us anytime your thoughts on what happened over the weekend, your thoughts on this coronavirus at Jaywalker Sports. You can listen to Treasure State Radio, also Podbean and Network One Sports. And if you miss anything, JasonWalkerShow.com will have all the previous stuff. And also, you can email JasonWalkerSports@gmail.com if you want to share any of your opinions, your thoughts. All right, so those of you who follow me on the Twitter know that I got blown up all Thursday and Friday for overreacting by saying the Montana High School Association Executive Director Mark Beckman and the MHSA should have canceled the 8 tournaments that were going on across the state of Montana. Started Wednesday in Missoula with the State C boys and continued through Thursday and Friday, and then Friday night they finally got canceled after the first 4 presumptive cases were discovered in Montana or announced in Montana. All weekend it was, you overreacted. Friday I just got lit up. And people, keyboard warrior, I'm waiting for your apology. I didn't put words in anybody's mouth. I stated nothing but facts and opinions of my own. And if my opinion doesn't jive with your opinion, I don't care. I'm allowed to have an opinion just like you are. And if they don't match, I don't care. And neither should you. That's why they're called opinions. And they all stink at this point, to paraphrase a saying that we all have. It's just, when you have things happening across the country and in your own state, the fact that you kept playing after Thursday was ridiculous. Again, my opinion. The fact that the Big Sky Conference had canceled, almost every other single college basketball tournament had canceled, not to mention March Madness had been canceled, the NAI championships had been canceled, North Dakota had canceled, and yet there we were still watching games on Friday night. And then after word came out that the games were canceled, they kept playing because, well, we have to have co-champs. Now, that brings up another point. Co-champions. Is it better than no champs? Maybe. We would have had no champs had the tournaments not have been allowed to get started or been canceled Thursday. Look, it's a tough decision. I'm not saying it's an easy one. I said Thursday and Friday, I don't want to be in the people's shoes making decisions. But the fact that people are whining and complaining that they didn't play championship games Saturday because, quote, well, everybody had already been exposed. But not everybody was exposed because Saturday championship games would have seen more fans in the stands in Billings and Bozeman and Butte and Missoula. All 4 cities of which, by the way, have tested positive, including Boise, Idaho, which was where the Big Sky tournament was. This is everywhere. And like I said last week, what if it's okay to overreact early in the week and then change your mind when you find out more information and things start to look worse? And now more today. Gallatin County, Missoula County, Butte, Silver Bow County, closing restaurants, bars, casinos, effective immediately or tomorrow morning for at least a week. And, oh no, we can't go hang out at bars. Who cares? The CDC is saying for the next 8 weeks, groups of more than 50 shouldn't be hanging out. And some places say more than 10. What part of that don't you get? Look, there's people on both sides of this that we're overreacting or underreacting. And I'm going to bring up a quote. And I don't know where this school superintendent teaches or what state. But I saw this over the weekend, and it made the most sense to me out of all of this crap that we're dealing with. He said, quote, "In the end, it will be impossible to know if we overreacted or did too much, but it will be quite apparent if we underreacted or did too little," end quote. And to me, that sums the whole dang thing up. I don't know what the answer is. Neither do you. There's people that make decisions in higher places than you or I. And they know more about this than you or I. Unless this is coming from, the World Health Organization or the CDC, you have no idea how big this is or is not going to be. And neither do I. And that's what makes opinions okay to have. And a friend of mine said on Facebook last week, she said her opinion changed within a span of a few days because of the information that came out. Look, everybody is canceled. You had the NAIA following the NCAA suit today, canceling spring seasons. Now, those student athletes will have a chance to continue, whether it's schooling credits or, there's all sorts of different things that need to be worked out still. But there's, it does suck that we're not going to have spring sports. And baseball has been moved back professionally into May, it sounds like. And and finally today, the University of Montana football team finally canceled spring practices and its spring game scheduled for April the 10th. Should have been done last week. But nobody understands this. Nobody's listening to the experts. It's no worse than the flu. Well, we don't know that. We have no idea what this is going to be like. The last time we saw something even remotely possible to this, Spanish flu, 1918. Guess what? No radio, no television, and we sure as hell didn't have internet spreading false news or opinion news or whatever you want to call it. Everything's canceled except for a couple of things. The PBR, which was over the weekend with no fans, canceled its next appointment in Glendale, Arizona this weekend. And another couple others are on hold. UFC, Dana White said, we're not canceling. Guess what? They just did through April 11th. Schools are being shut down. Everything's being shut down. Why? Maybe there's something bigger than we know. And maybe it's not. Again, you and I don't know. The Iditarod's still going on, which is remarkable when you consider what the Iditarod is about. It celebrates taking life-saving medicine across the country, or across Alaska. Nearly 1,000-mile race. But that's still going on, and there's a Montanan in the mix. Jesse Reuter is dropped to 5th, but I mean, schools are closed. Campuses of college and universities are online only. The Montana spring sports season, not canceled, suspended till April 13th. They'll reevaluate April 13th. So you're going to possibly give spring athletes a month of competition? And this is what I go back to from last week. Everything else has been canceled, MHSA. Why suspend? Why delay the inevitable? Because it's going to happen. You're going to have to cancel the whole season. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. Not literally, because I've heard they're disgusting. But why just suspend the season when literally everything else is being canceled? I mean, what does the executive board and the executive body at Montana High School Association over on Dakota Street in Helena know that we don't, and know that the CDC doesn't? Because apparently they do know more. Because we'll just suspend stuff. We won't cancel it. People, that has the potential to be really, really bad. And again, I just go back to, what do the smarter people know that you and I don't? And I've talked to some people that work in the medical industry, and their opinions have varied. But again, just because you work in Helena or in Great Falls or Billings as a medical professional, you don't know what the CDC knows. You don't know what WHO knows, World Health Organization. Are people freaking out and going into the emergency room to get tested when they don't need to? Yeah, that's dumb. Do we need to hoard everything? No, that's dumb. But if you're being told to stay home, then stay home. And you're whining about, oh, Butte St. Patrick's Day parade was canceled, and now St. Patrick's Day is canceled. Who cares? If you can't handle your alcohol to the point that you have to go out on a Tuesday night just to party, then you've got a problem. St. Patrick's Day will be around next year. Or you know what? Celebrate it in June. Who cares? Because that's when we're going to have to celebrate stuff. And that's when we're going to be able to watch sports, possibly. But here comes another point. This last week has just shown to me, and I work in sports. I talk about sports. But we're relying on sports way too much in this country. Way too much. If you think you can't handle the next 8 weeks or 12 weeks without sports, you've got an issue. Talk to your family. Hang out with your family. Rediscover your kids. You know what, kids? Rediscover your parents. And it's just frustrating to watch people on social media freak out for nothing or for an opinion, especially an opinion. I said this Friday. It's like I'm entitled to have my own opinion as long as it jives with yours. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine. I said Friday, I'd welcome anybody who wanted to disagree with me to come on the show, and not one person did. Not one person all day Friday asked me for my number or how to get a hold of the show to come on and discuss why the state tournaments should have been canceled Thursday or not started at all. Not one of you keyboard warriors stepped up to the challenge. Why? You feel safer behind your computer or on your phone texting it? Fine. But don't give me a ration of a hard time if my opinion differs from yours. And at this point, I've been proven pretty accurate on what I said last Thursday and Friday. That this thing would show up in Montana, it would show up in the cities that had tournaments, and I guarantee you that it will come out in the next week or so that somebody at one of those tournaments has this thing, COVID-19, and infected others, because it's going to happen. It happened in Washington at their tournament last week. It's going to happen here. And just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't, because it's going to. There's too much of a small world in the sport world. When the head of the Board of Regents tests positive and he thinks he got it 2 weeks ago now, 11 days ago in Dillon at a Board of Regents meeting, guess what? I guarantee you that somebody from that Board of Regents meeting had contact with the head of the Board of Regents, went to a tournament, and had contact with others. So guess what? It's going to show up at those tournament places. It just will. But that is my open for the day. We're going to take a break and talk about something mostly positive. When we return, we'll be joined by co-champ of the State AA girls. It's the head coach of Capital, Katie Garson-Forba. She'll join us in the next segment. Don't forget to get your nominations in for the Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. And we also have On This Day in History, the walk-off, and a whole lot more coming up. Because right now, we still have things to talk about. Next week and the week after, who knows what we're going to talk about in the sports world. But right now, we have stuff. Katie Garson-Forba joins us next here on The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the... Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Monday. Jason Walker Show here live on the Facebook, also YouTube. You can listen, Podbean. Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com. And if you missed anything, you can always rewatch it or re-listen to it, JasonWalkerShow.com. Big week. Regardless of no sports, we're going to talk to Ali Weiss from Belgrade, who is an Olympic hopeful. On Wednesday, John Chalesnik, formerly of ESPN, now of STAA Sports Talent, it's a sports talent agency. He's going to join us Wednesday to talk about what sports people are going to talk about moving forward with no sports over the next couple of months. To get your nominations in for the Auto Contest Performance of the Week, you can tweet us at JWalkerSports, Facebook us, email jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. Got a couple of really cool nominations already coming in. Hearing about individual teams for the state tournaments. Some of the reactions right away, and I can understand it, but they were a little, they were piss poor from a couple of teams that I saw their reactions, and not impressed. Now, hopefully they realize they're a part of something different that has never happened before in the state of Montana over the weekend, but we'll see if these kids, when they become adults, if they start adulting. Saw a lot of kids actually acting like adults on Friday night when all their tournaments were canceled, which was nice to see. But anyway, all right. Tomorrow, we're going to talk to Max Gorin, by the way, tomorrow. Max is the son of a friend of mine on the East Coast, and he put together a One Shining Moment video that has been circulating on the interweb. Since we're not going to have One Shining Moment, he took some of the best moments from the regular season and tournaments that were played and put them together. So we'll talk to Max Gorin tomorrow. Also tomorrow, John Schneider. Yeah, that's right. Bo Derek. No, not Bo Derek. Bo Duke. I wish Bo Derek. I actually met her once and interviewed her. Anyway, Bo Duke. John Schneider will join us tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show. All right. There was some basketball. There was some upset people. Mainly, you know what? Mainly parents. But anyway, let's celebrate one of our state champions. And it was pretty obvious early in the season that this team was going to have a really good chance of winning the state tournament in basketball. And they're co-champs, but they probably would have won. We'll never know. But the way that this team had played all year, they'd avenged their only loss. I can understand why this team, in a lot of people's eyes, would have won the state championship. And we're joined now on this Mike Miller State Farm Hotline by the head coach of the Capital Girls. Her name is Katie Garson-Forba here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach. So obviously it's been a weird last, I guess, week, which feels like a year almost.
Yeah, it does feel like it's been, it's just the last few days have just been kind of a whirlwind, but also it just feels like it's taken an eternity to get through them.
All right, so you guys were named co-champs. Obviously, that's not the way you guys wanted the season to end. You would have loved to have played Billings West. Thoughts on Friday as you're watching film and get the text messages that, we're not going to be playing now?
My first thought was honestly, I was glad that our team was together. We had been back at the hotel, and that would have been a really big bummer to have all the girls in their own rooms at that point before we'd gotten together for film. So, if it has to happen, I would rather have them together. So, when I got a couple messages from people, parents asking me, and I saw those come up, and got the phone call and went back into the room and broke the news to the girls, and my heart just hurt for them, and they were pretty upset, and rightfully so. They wanted to play that game. They felt ready to play Billings West, and and I think that the other piece of it that was really hard for them was our seniors realizing that they just played their last basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few of those girls have played on the same travel team with some of our juniors. They played together a lot of years, and just the reality that was it. They didn't have a lot of closure on the court at that time when that news broke.
You did allow that to happen. You guys went and had a good time at the field house by yourselves. It looked like there was literally nobody else around with some of the pictures I saw.
Yeah, it was great. We, I let them, first thing I told them was I said, do not let this take away from the season that you guys had. And I made sure that they knew what they had achieved this year was special and that they were a great basketball team. And when they tell this story to their children 20 years from now, they're state champions, and it's during a pandemic and a worldwide health crisis. I mean, not many people get to share that story. So, try to find the silver lining in it. And then I just told them, I said, what do you guys want to do? The world is at your fingertips tonight. We obviously don't have scouting report to go over. So, they said, well, let's go to ice cream. And so we loaded them up on the bus, and we got loaded back up after that. And I called our athletic director, Tim, and said, hey, can we get them into the field house and take some pictures, because they won't get that moment like they should have tomorrow night. So, away we went, and they got to just have a little bit of time together one last time on that court. And then we actually took them back on Saturday morning, because they had all their game day, tournament day attire that they would have gone dressed up to the gym, and they missed that opportunity. So we wanted to make sure that they got to experience as much of those moments that they would have gotten to had the game been played, and just be able to create some memories of their own.
Katie Garson-Forba, the Capital Girls coach, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so the tough questions are, A, should the tournament had even got started? And we'll start with that.
I won't say anything negative about how MHSA handled it. I get the situation that they were in. They were, honestly, they're not going to win either way, whether
Right.
they cancel it before, they cancel it at this point. I get people's frustrations of, well, why not just play that last day? They were trying to do what they thought was best, and that's a really tough position for people in those roles to have to make. I think they based it off of an informed decision. They were trying to work with the parties that were knowledgeable of the situation. So it's really hard for me to say whether, for us, and this is something I told the girls, we were able to avenge our one loss on the year and do it in a pretty solid fashion. So that gave us a little bit of satisfaction. But I know other teams didn't have that moment necessarily. So, I have mixed emotions on it. I was glad we got to have 2 more games as a team. I can't fault MHSA for canceling it when they did. they felt that was the right decision at the right time. And so I have to respect that.
So here's the thing I look at is, to me, we haven't been in this situation as a society in 102 years. And we didn't have television in 1918 with Spanish flu. We didn't have radio, and we sure as heck didn't have the internet where everybody and their mother and brother had a comment on Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. So we're in uncharted waters, and I don't think anybody knows what to expect. And I said this last week, and I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I said, what if we can think we're overreacting and at the same time be concerned as more information comes out? And it just, to me, that encapsulates the whole week almost.
Yeah, and I think, there was so much stuff coming out in it was just rapid fire of information. And I swear every time we pulled something new up, something else is getting canceled or some other decision is getting made. And we're seeing that today. The Helena mayor, declares an emergency. And, we're continuing to shut down different things. And I think that, I don't know that I totally understood the magnitude of what this was going to what was going to happen. So looking at it from a sporting event perspective, it was like, I don't know what kind of things they're weighing or how they're weighing different issues or what they're looking at, in their decision. And everybody's going to have an opinion, and you're not going to make everybody happy. You're not going to please everybody. I think with that, because of the accessibility to the internet and people to be weighing in and people to be putting their opinion out there, they've probably tried to take a very, neutral approach to it and stick to the facts of what they had and what they were being told by, the Board of Health and all of those individuals to make the most informed decision. But yeah, we haven't been through something like this. And so I'm sure they'll have some after action, planning and meetings that occur to figure out if, what could we have done better, from MHSA all the way up to health departments and counties and all the venues and stuff. But it's just a very surreal time for us, I think, just as a society. And how do you handle it?
Well, and that's one thing too, is, and you're not a teacher. So this, you still have a job to go to. And obviously I don't know if, yours has been canceled yet or postponed for 2 weeks, but it's not just, a basketball tournament. I think that's the end of the day. What we have to look at is this is more than a game. It sucks that we have 16 co-champs, or it's really cool depending on how you look at it, because it's never been done before. But at the end of the day, we still have to worry about living, not just playing a game of basketball.
Yep, and that was the message that I tried to send to our team, and I get the disappointment there. It's so much bigger than basketball. And again, the scenario is unique. And how many other people, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, nobody's going to, look at it and be like, well, that was when they were co-champions. And, it's like, no, that was when the coronavirus was a huge outbreak and everybody's panicking and all this. And, oh, yeah, we got to be a part of something that was completely unique in our history. And so I reminded them of that the pain hurts right now, but there's a lot of things to put in perspective. And that's an important thing to maintain, which I hope that's what we take away from sports in general. And this is a great opportunity for us to use sports as a platform to learn from it. And, we weren't the only ones that had our season come to a weird ending. Everybody in the NCAA. And so it's so much bigger than sports at the end of the day. But, allowing our high school kids, our 15, 16, 17-year-old girls to feel that pain and let them feel that pain, and then change the mindset a little bit through making some memories through this time of chaos and the unknowns. Hopefully that shapes them a little bit to be able to deal with adversity when it hits. Because, this is just a small blip in the 5 months they had together as a team, but it's significant in the growth that they can develop as individuals, and how they handle it moving forward is, phenomenal opportunity, I think, for these kids and for just our society.
Katie Garson-Forba joining us, Jason Walker Show. What was your major in college? Because you sound really smart right now.
My undergrad was in health and human sciences, and my graduate was natural resources and environmental science. So I was kind of all over the board.
So you've got a little bit of a psychology aspect in there with health and human sciences, I guess. But okay, what was your ice cream? What was your go-to the other night?
I went with like a loaded cake batter with, it was sweet cream ice cream with a bunch of Oreos crumbled into it and some
Nice.
hot fudge. And it was just loaded.
Why not, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah.
I told them, I said, you girls get what you want, load it up because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are state champions. So let's embrace it and enjoy it a little bit. And they laughed. And, it was one of the coolest things. We get on the bus and we're driving, and they all went from being just like in tears and like hugging each other. And I'm not sure who played it, but somebody put on, of course, Queen, We Are the Champions,
Mhm.
and we have the entire bus just yelling it. And it was honestly a very cool moment through a really sad time for those guys.
Sure.
And so, it was neat to see them come together and be supportive of each other and love on each other. And that just kind of epitomized this team in that moment, which I thought was really cool.
Second fun question is, like you look at certain teams are looking at maybe playing in a neutral site on their own. Has that been discussed between Capital and Billings West? Like, hey, let's meet up somewhere in the summer when everything's all said and done and settle this on the court?
Well, I do get to schedule our round robin tournament games at Capital in June, so
there you
I'm
go.
pretty sure I can slate. I emailed Charlie and I exchanged emails. Some of our girls exchanged messages with some of their girls, and we just congratulated each other, congratulated each other's programs, and obviously they didn't want it to end the way that it did either. But I thought that it was very classy the way that they handled it, and we wanted to do the same and reciprocate. So, there hasn't been conversation about we will honestly play them probably 2 or 3 times this summer in some way, shape, or form. But I, as things have rapidly evolved, who knows how long we're going to be dealing with, quarantines and social distancing, and it's just. I just saw that it's now they're saying you shouldn't be in a group of larger than 10. So who knows what's going to transpire from all of this.
Well, hopefully you could play you could get a Y2K. Wow. Like an NBA 2K or a college game. You pick the girls' favorite teams and play a simulation, and then we decide the winner.
Oh, we can actually do that. I may throw that idea out there to him and see what he says.
Yeah, because there's we're going to be covering esports, I think, as sports people moving forward, because there's not going to be any actual sports taking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this came out last week, and I just have to give you this because Duke basketball was the first team to really pull out of the NCAA tournament. Had it actually happened, they said they weren't going to play. So Duke was first team eliminated.
Hey, you told me that you thought either Duke or Lady Bruins had a chance to be a champion this year. And you thought, I can't remember your exact quote.
I said Duke isn't going to do it, so it's going to have to rely on you guys.
Exactly. And so, and I said I was okay with that if that was the scenario that played out. So
Well, there you go. You got your state championship.
Who knew we were forecasting out to this extreme chaos? And you knew the future.
I feel like Karnak or whatever it was, the old Johnny Carson. Well, you're not old enough for Johnny Carson, so.
I'm not.
No,
I will not pretend to age myself either.
There you go. Hey, Coach, it's been a pleasure chatting with you all season, and congratulations on the state championship. It's weird circumstances, but at the end of the day, you handled it with class, and I respect that. And congrats to the girls. Congrats to you. And let's hope we're playing basketball next season.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for all the coverage you gave us this year, and for being good to our program. And hopefully we're back having these conversations sometime in November.
Katie Garson-Forba joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved up for that big old Ultra HD flat screen just in time for, well, whatever season we're not going to have for a while. It's not just a bundle or a combo. And State Farm agent Mike Miller sees your home and car as something you work really hard for. Mike understands what your things really mean to you. He's here to help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena for your home and auto insurance today. All right, so Your thoughts on Katie Garson-Forba? I thought, or my thoughts, I thought, they handled it with class. Her and Coach Johnson both at West. There was a lot of, we saw a lot of handling with class over the weekend. We saw a lot of not. And most of it really, honestly, was from parents. And it's one of those deals, parents living through their kids because, well, that's what they do. Now, does it suck for the seniors? Yeah. But you know what? It's not just the seniors that it sucks for. It sucks for the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen that were on some of these teams. Or in some cases, 8th graders at the Class C level. It sucks for the coaches that put in all the time for the last 5 months. The managers. You think about everybody that helps out during the course of a season. Don't just let the seniors, it's not just all about them. It's everybody that this involves, okay? And it affects. But it does suck for the seniors. I get that. College, high school, whatever. But at the end of the day, like Coach Garson-Forba said, man, it's more important than a game. It really is. Life is more important than a game. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week is on the way. Got a couple of really cool nominations, and I'm going to pick a winner, and it's going to be a good one. Also on this day in history, and a whole lot more coming up. This last segment was brought to you by Ruckers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Ruckers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. We're coming right back here on the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Ruckers Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Ruckers, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Ruckers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Final segment on a Monday, Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. I know it doesn't look like it now because there's still a lot of snow out there, but you right now need to get on the calendar for all of your lawn, pest, tree needs. Get on the schedule today. Get a hold of Nitro Green in Helena, 443-5088 or nitrogreenhelena.com. Now, snow's going to melt this week, and it'll be time to start worrying about your yard. Tomorrow, big show, we're going to talk to Max Gorin, who is a friend of, the son of a friend of mine who put together a video that has gone viral, and it's one shining moment. It's some of the best highlights of 2020, so we're going to show the video. We'll talk to Max tomorrow. Next Tuesday, scheduled, Miss Rodeo Montana, Katie Lynn Krause. Still to come this week, Allie Weiss, Mississippi, or Ole Miss and Belgrade grad, great shooter, and heading off to the Olympics. We'll talk to her. John Chalesnik will join us as well. Find out what sports people are going to talk about moving forward with no sports to talk about. All right. I need to just completely. PBR, by the way, is canceling its event for Glendale, Arizona for this week. And it'll be interesting to see how far out they cancel. NAIA canceled all of its spring sports. NCAA did as well. Cascade Conference did. A lot, pretty much everything is being canceled except Montana High School Association spring sports season, which is going to suspend until April 13th. Yellowstone County, Gallatin County, Missoula County, Butte, Silver Bow County, Lewis and Clark County so far all stopping either tonight or tomorrow. People from going to bars, brew pubs, restaurants, things like that. You can still do takeout. Help out the small business owners if you can. Get some takeout delivered. All right, and help out your neighbors as well. If they can't get out and about, help them out. Okay? Just do that. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by The Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. And on this day, in March the 16th, let's see, 1900, the American League met in Chicago. Teams announced: the Chicago White Stockings, Washington Senators, Milwaukee Brewers, Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Blues, Boston Americans, Philadelphia Athletics, and Baltimore Orioles. The first AL teams in 1900. How about that? 1939, an NHL record 10 goals scored in one period by the Rangers and the Americans of New York. It was 7 Rangers, 3 for the Americans. A record 26 points in the third quarter. Crazy. Or third period, rather. Let's see what else happened on this date in history of sports. Boston Bruins scored an NHL record 8 goals in a period in 1969. Denny McLain, the Major League Baseball pitcher in 1985, convicted of racketeering sentenced to 25 years. Mike Tyson beat Frank Bruno in a third-round heavyweight title fight in 1996. That's about it as far as big ones. Any big birthdays today in the world of sports? Does not look like it. So there you go. Well, Rodney Peete, his birthday is today. Born in 1966, the former NFL quarterback. Just looking, yeah, nobody of any significant interest, at least to me. All right, On This Day in History is brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. Stop in, have a great burger. Enjoy some replays on the TVs, because that's about what we're going to get for the next 8 weeks or so in the world of sports. It is tough, but you can get takeout, okay? Casinos are closed. bars, restaurants, everything's starting to shut down across the state as well. And there's people upset about that. But rather be safe than sorry, right? And I go back to something I said earlier today. What if it's okay to overreact, but also be concerned as more and more information comes out? Just saying. All right, let's get to our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. Got some nominations here. Marie Griffiths of Manhattan won the inaugural Gaucho Derby in the Patagonia region of Argentina. It's a 300-mile event, one of the most challenging horse races in the world, you think? Speaking of horse races, sounds like the Kentucky Derby is going to get pushed back to September 5th. It would be the horse, right? Let's see. How about this nomination? Lucky number 7 for the Rocky Mountain men's ski team. 7th overall National Alpine Championship, won last week out at Lake Placid, New York. Congrats to the Batlin Bears. Really good ski team. 7 national championships, which is second only in the state to Montana State Rodeo, which is, I think, won 12 now between the men and the women. All right. And then got a lot of individual performances from the state tournaments over the weekend. And I think the best way to do this is we're just going to award the Auto Concepts Performance of the Week to the 16 co-champs from across the state of Montana. It's never happened. Hopefully it never happens again. But those 16 teams that were declared co-champions deserve the Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. So congratulations. That is my Auto Concepts Performance of the Week.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Here's the big thing we learned. We don't know where we're going, not only in sports, but in mankind with this COVID-19 coronavirus. We really don't. And the walk-off, by the way, presented by Cafe Zydeco. Make sure you order out and get it to go from Cafe Zydeco, 625 Euclid, at least for the next week. We just don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, uncharted waters. By the way, it's uncharted, not unchartered waters that we are dealing with this week and for the foreseeable future. Not only in the state of Montana, but also the country and really worldwide. I have not seen this. There are a handful of people in this world that are old enough to remember the Spanish flu in 1918, and none of my listeners are any of them. So none of us have dealt with this ever. Keep your distance, wash your hands, be safe, okay? I did see a funny meme that was, congratulations, we've got our hand washing down. Next week we work on shapes and colors. Because apparently we're all kids that didn't know how to wash our hands before any of this happened. Jason Walker Show is brought to you in part by Manscaped. And while you're social distancing, you can still manscape. Make sure you check it out. Manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 3.0. It is unbelievable. It's got the advanced skin-safe technology. The battery will last up to 90 minutes. You can take a longer shave. It's also waterproof. You can shave in the shower. Just clean up, guys. LED light illuminates grooming areas for a closer, more precise trim. 7,000 RPM motor with the Quiet Stroke technology. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com and trim that junk of yours. Manscaped.com. Get 20% off free shipping. Use the code WALKER20. That is WALKER 20. Manscaped.com. Also, want to throw this out. By the way, the walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. And apparently you can't go out to eat, so order out to go. Pick up Cafe Zydeco. Open tomorrow through Thursday from 11 to 7. And get some Cajun to go. You will not regret it. I promise. All right, so literally everything is canceled. National Junior College Athletic Association canceled its spring. NAIA spring sports, done. NCAA spring sports, done. PBR is canceled for this weekend. UFC is canceled through April 18th. Everything's canceled. But here's what I guarantee. We'll be back to playing NFL football because God forbid the NFL gets canceled. So I'm guessing the NFL will be playing in August. Just a guess. Just a prediction. Okay, here's the thing. Stay safe. Be nice to somebody. Okay? Don't be a keyboard warrior, and if you're wrong, apologize. That's all I ask for. That's all you got to do. Jason Walker Show is presented by Helena Accommodations. We'll do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Max Gorin, who put together a great video for us to enjoy for one shining moment. And, yep, one of the Duke boys, John Schneider, will join us tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show. Have yourself a fantastic Monday night. Enjoy the quarantine with you and your family. We're going to see a whole bunch of babies born 9 months from now. 10 months from now. Might see some divorces here in a few months too. Who knows? Hopefully it's not you. We'll see you tomorrow. John Schneider, Max Gorin, Jason Walker Show. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Monday.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.
Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner. So now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of the Jason Walker Show.